Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin. And you can see my coffee back there. And this is my coffee here. And I'm Kevin. I hope you're joining me with a nice warm cup of coffee this morning, cup of tea, anything that you're having, water, whatever it is. I am happy to see you here. Again, for the second or third week, I think it is, we are not going live on Facebook. I will be reposting this on Facebook, so I apologize for that. I've been shut out. I got hacked a few weeks ago. I was off Facebook for 3 days. I got back on, and they penalized me for being hacked, I guess. So we'll be back on in 13 days, I think it's said. So not next week, but the week after, we will be back on live with Facebook. Mm-hmm, mm-mm-mm. Happy Tuesday. Guess what today is? Today, a day in history. Not too many birthdays that I saw that are notable out there. But one thing that was notable was this is the day that Alexander Graham Bell patented the telephone. This was the beginning of our lifelong obsession with wanting to connect with other people. Yes, granted, his patent had nothing to do with today's cell phone, but it was the beginning. You could connect with other people letters, without sending letters. And today you can connect much easier without even talking. We can connect through text. You know how difficult it was before the phone? This day in 1777, John Adams and his wife Abigail had exchanged 5 letters. 5 letters. I was like, wow, what are you telling me this for? They were avid writers. He was in Congress and she was back at home running a farm. And so they write letters together. Matter of fact, in total, I believe it said that they wrote 1,200 letters back and forth. 1,200 letters. That's a lot of writing. We can do probably 1,200 texts in a day now. Hey, how you doing? What up? So yes, I think the phone was the beginning of our way of connecting on a consistent basis with people. Um, when I was younger, I had the ability, and it was popular to write letters. We had the phone, of course, but I never was good at writing letters. I never was good at writing until I was much older. So that phone was a good thing. I remember being a kid and getting on the phone and calling my friend up the street. He was 4 houses over. It took 5 minutes to walk to his house. But even back then, we using the phone and doing that. Another thing in this day in history, more of a sadder thing, 1965. It's when the protests in Selma and a lot of people protesting were beaten. This was probably one of the beginnings of violence in racial injustice and in protesting and violence against protesters and stuff like that. We've come a long way. We have come a long way, and thank God we have. So another thing I heard about this day today. Oh, hold on. I saw this thing on the TV where someone had broken into a grocery store, got in the breakfast aisle, and he was smashing the frosted flakes and the Cheerios and the tricks and all that. He was a serial killer. Ah, boom, boom. No, today is supposed to be International Cereal Day. I just had to tell the only cereal joke I know. Anyway, consistency. Those letters were a great reminder. They were consistent in talking to each other when they were away. As a couple, they did wonderful, wonderful things. They communicated the best way they absolutely, absolutely could. 5 letters in one day. What I'm thinking is they spent a week writing letters and then they sent them all off at the same time. So maybe they marked, okay, said, read this first, read this second. I don't know. But that's probably how they did it, back 350 years ago. So, yeah, yeah, it is cereal day. Can you believe that? Consistency. I want to talk about consistency. I've been off for, I think, the third week in a row off Facebook. And up until then, since the end of 2019, I started this in December, I had only missed 2 to 3 episodes in total where I missed it. I didn't get to record it. So here I am missing 3 episodes in Facebook. And it's hurting me to think that, because I have a lot of fans on Facebook, a lot of people that check in and say hi. So, but consistency is important. Consistency in our life, let alone business, is important. Doing things, getting routines, building routines. We by default have our own routines, and some of the routines aren't the best ones. Like if I got a routine of waking up late every morning, and then just moving around slowly before I got started, and doing all the things that aren't good for me. Though that's still a routine, right? That's still a routine. When you build your routines to optimize yourself, to optimize you, when you build a routine to get up and go out for a walk every morning, when you build a routine to plan your day the night before, when you build a routine to have go out and have date nights once a month or whatever it is. When you build routines, when you're consistent, life works a lot better. Life works a lot better. And then when those routines are really, really good for you, life works really good. Consistency is a big thing. It's part of the 5 C's. It's doing the same thing consistently. Now, even if it seems to work slowly, you build that consistency. When I started this back in December 2019, I had a plan to do more social media. And that's what they told me, is you got to be consistent. So when I started this, I wanted to make sure I was doing it every week. And I was, and still am. And still am. Granted, some of the things I was doing wasn't as consistent. You got to learn to be consistent in everything. And then when you're consistent in everything, or when you're consistent in several things, you check to see if they're working. Just because you have consistency in something doesn't mean it's working right. So over the weeks, the months, the years, I've always checked, and I almost stopped this. I almost stopped this last year, and then I realized I've heard people, because I wasn't getting much interaction. I don't get much interaction, especially with Facebook now. There's not many chats going on. I don't get much interaction live, but I was hearing from people who would catch it later on. I say, and they say, "Oh, you're the guy on that coffee chat. Oh, you're the guy Tuesday mornings." And I said, "Wow, see, the consistency paid off." I hear it all the time. "Oh, I see you posting all the time. I see you on your live all the time on LinkedIn." So consistency. You check, you measure, but you stay consistent as long as it's working. Now, if you're staying consistent doing something that isn't working and you expect it to automatically start working, Albert Einstein is stated to have quoted this, The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Now, when he says doing something over and over again, that's consistency, isn't it? Yes. So consistency, as long as you're getting results, so as long as you can tell you're getting results, is what you want. So I have a nephew getting into the business world. I mean, I'm not into the more formal business world, should I say. He's very successful at having started a barbershop, and he's actually moved and expanded 3 times. And he's got a rather big barbershop now, but he knows that he's got a ceiling on there. There's only so much money you make from the seats. He's got a partner, and there's only so much money you make. There's only so much time you have to be the barber to make the money. And so he's started another business, and more in the formal business, where he's into investments, retirement, and all that, insurance. So he is learning now to what consistency and what he's going to be doing is. He's learning how to measure his success. He's learning how to do things like that. So consistency is really important. You create your schedule for your day, for your week. You constantly look at your goals and how close you're getting, or how accurate you are at getting to them. You consistently do that. And when you're doing that, and when you're starting to get results, the results will start to go more and more and more and more. So consistency was part of the 5 C's that I talked about last week. Part of the 5 C's that I talked about last week, and I'll be talking about them further and more and more and more. Just like I said, consistency is almost like perseverance. But perseverance means I'm going to keep on going, I'm going to keep on trying. It doesn't mean I'm going to keep on trying consistently. So there's a little difference. And another 5C is conviction, and that's where perseverance comes in as well. All right, this has been Coffee with Kevin. And I am Kevin, and this is my coffee. And my coffee says living simply. And living simply means, don't make things too complex in this world of technology, in this world of all sorts of, different ideas of how to do things better and better and better. Sometimes we get too complex. So sometimes we got to go back to basics. Sometimes we just have to simplify. All right. This has been Coffee with Kevin. And I want you to have a great day. I want you to make it a great day, because I know you are in control, and I know you can make it a great day. Take care, all.